Let's meet a puppet from my feature film, Creatures of the House. Today we're talking about SC. And SC is fun because he is a full body puppet. Think, Big Bird, something like that. Or you could think a costume character at a theme park like Mickey Mouse or something. And so I'm going to be making him last because I have some ideas about how I'm going to craft him, but I am most intimidated by SC. So he's definitely going to be last after I've kind of explored the other puppets. But when I was designing him, I wanted to keep it pretty simple. I'm his design is most likely to change just based off of if I find a new technique or a new way I want to put him together. I think he is the most likely to change from these first design sketches that I've done. But I kind of wanted him to feel like a mix of all creatures. I liked having this big jacket on him to help disguise some of, the harder work of like making hands and extra things, but I didn't want him to be too covered up. He's going to be very furry. He's going to be covered in fur. Unlike the other creatures, which will probably mostly be fleece, he's going to be extremely fuzzy. And I kind of drew influence from like, I was pulling a lot of like Yeti stuff, Yeti drawings and Yeti things. And I thought having like a more, like his actual faceplate will be fleece, but everything else is going to be fur. And ideally, I'm not exactly sure how he's going to be operated yet, but I'm probably going to have to make some sort of mechanism to make his eyebrow. He's got this big long eyebrow move up and down, and I might have to make one to make his mouth open and close too, because you think about having one person in there, right? And their body's going to be in there. They can't also put the hand in the mouth and make it move unless I like design all the shots to be able to for them to be able to specifically do that. But yeah, SC doesn't really talk very much. He's kind of mysterious and he's also kind of scary. He's big, he's intimidating, he's formidable, and we don't really know what his intentions are yet. And which is why when I was thinking of a color palette, I was kind of imagining blue and more earthy tones for him, because I think he is just he is who he is. He's very simple. I was very inspired by that one Muppet. I do not know their name. I'm sorry. I'm going to put a picture of them up here, but they have that big cloth and that big nose, and I thought that was cute. But I didn't want to go too far. You still want all of the creatures to feel like of a kind and of a piece. So I'm very pleased with how this design turned out, but I'm very open to it changing if it has to, just for how hard it's going to be to make an actual full body suit. So that's going to be a very interesting adventure. I'm hoping that by the time I've made the other 6 puppets, I'll have a much clearer idea of how I want to approach making SC. But it just felt obvious to me that I really wanted, a big full body puppet.